Today we got the first relaunch of Quartero's Curios. This was an ongoing side event which first launched in August of 2025. It was a level-based system where you earned points for playing Dota 2 matches and you earned different rewards throughout the season. There were 3 custom sets last season and a whole group of custom effects which were linked to your battle passes in previous years. Those are custom particle effects for things like teleporting, using phase boots, having a radiance or using a mechanism, which was very nice to see return as a free feature. And lastly, the thing that most people were interested about last season was the Quartero's Curios Antiques drops. Season 2 of Quartero's Curios includes quite a few quality of life changes for this season and plenty of new content to keep earning in the background while you focus on other things in Dota 2. Firstly, something very interesting this season is that you can actually go back to the first debut season and unlock items that you may have missed by paying Dota Plus shards. Every level you were missing costs about 10,000 shards. I'm glad that these items aren't permanently locked, and it's good that you can go back and pick up some items you may have missed by a couple of levels and finish your sets if you have a couple of spare Dota Plus shards hanging around. So going from level 70 to max level 100 costs about 300,000 shards. There are 3 new sets for this season: Shadow Shaman's Nether Beetle, Shadow Fiend's Molten Monarch, and the main showcase set which has a special unlockable tier 2 variant for Axe called Ember Enforcer. But interestingly, this season there has been some changes to the way the Quartero's Curios Antiques drops actually function. When you load the game for the first time, Quartero is discussing the negative feedback from the Antiques drops. I posted videos about this drop list earlier in the year and it was not very positive. It was largely total junk and inventory filler, with a very low drop rate for an Arcana and a similarly low drop rate for an old Immortal Treasure, which also often included junk. The drops last season nobody really cared about and it became a meme after the first couple of weeks. This season there are 12 possible antique drops, which is doubling last season's total of 6, and they are even weighted to the earlier levels, meaning you will get 7 drops by level 40 when last year you could only possibly get a total of 6 at a max level of 100. And most importantly, the first antique drop that you earn will give you a choice of 5 random sets which are generated from a higher rarity drop list. There is a higher than normal chance that one of these 5 sets will include an Arcana or Immortals, so hopefully you get an actually interesting item for your first antique drop. However, the subsequent antiques all the way to the end do not contain this rare drop list ever again. And you have to keep in mind that all of these items from the Quartero's Curios Antiques are all not marketable and not tradable and not giftable, so these are locked to your account, but hopefully Valve actually gives us something interesting for once, and more than a handful of people get something actually good. Again, in the game files, the actual drop list is not available. It's hidden server side once again, but here is the first special level 1 antique drop in the game files. It's called Quartero's Extra Super Duper Special Antique, and it generates 5 items from the hidden server side drop list called Seasonal Reward Line Gold Drops, whereas all of the regular antique drops generate 5 items from the drop list Seasonal Reward Line Choose 5 Drops. So what it seems like is even on the antique drops after level 5, you still do get to pick from one of 5 sets, except for the first roll, you do get to choose from a list of elevated rarities of items, but don't expect to get similar rarities of items in the later antique drops because they do have fundamentally different drop lists, and the drop rate on Arcanas last year was below 1%. Lastly, before I look at the 3 sets, I want to show you the event effects. I'm glad that these are returning and are being seasonally released. These changes really add to the seasonality of Dota 2, much like the seasonal terrains, and it's very awesome to see these return. We're getting a fountain effect, teleport effects, a blink dagger particle, level up effects, a new Yule Scepter 4-star phase boot and mechanism heal, and a new Radiance AoE. All of these effects are frost themed with snowflakes or snow particles and are generally blue in tinting. These look pretty good, and hopefully there is way less of a problem this season than last season, with the Quartero's blink effect from last season in autumn being very difficult to see. And interestingly, there is no custom Lotus Orb effect for this season when there was last time. And finally, there is actually a bottle sip effect in the game files which was never used. Shadow Shaman's set is the first one that you unlock. Just like Witch Doctor from last season, the first thing you actually get rewarded is a usable item and not just a random headwear or weapon. You actually unlock the Beetle Grub Serpent Ward for Shadow Shaman. Last season it was a Witch Doctor Ultimate Ward, which is actually something you can use without having the entire set instead of it just being a random cosmetic piece, which is a very clever thing from Valve to do for your first reward. The Shadow Shaman set actually has some really interesting pieces. The ward itself is quite unique, and the cape and the headpiece actually have pretty decent particle effects. For a free set that you can earn in just a couple of games, it's pretty good. Shadow Fiend's items are actually really good. I think this is the best set out of the three, and it has similar colorways to last season's Legion Commander Red variant, which was the items that were most prized by the community. The hands and especially the back pieces ambient effects are pretty mega, especially with the massive butterfly wings. This is actually a genuinely epic set. A really awesome pull for the free sideline event, which you can happily mix with Arcanas or other cosmetics and look absolutely epic. Finally, Axe. Like Legion Commander last year, this set has a second unlockable tier, which will drop as separate items and aren't an unlockable style. The base version and the unlockable tier 2 of this set is totally fine. I'm sure there are some interesting combinations and mixed sets you can make with this tier 2 version, but I don't think that it is particularly compelling on its own. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like on the video if you found it helpful. And for Christmas, I am hosting a giveaway on my Discord, which you cannot miss. There will be 3 giveaways for Dragon Claw hooks for Pudge, and a giveaway for the entire 2025 Crimson collection. Check out the Discord link in the description below. Thank you so much to all of my YouTube members. If you want to support the channel, becoming a YouTube member is the best way to do so. You can do that by clicking the join button below.